What if I told you that the secret to timeless style isn't about following trends, chasing youth, or filling your closet with more? What if elegance, true elegance, is actually simpler than you think? At 72, Rossella Jardini walks through life with a quiet confidence that stops people mid-step. Not because she's loud, not because she's trying, but because she understands something most of us forget. Style isn't about age. It's about knowing yourself so well that everything you wear becomes an extension of who you are. Rossella spent decades shaping fashion at Moschino, but her personal style? That's where the real lesson lives. It's refined, it's intentional, it's proof that elegance doesn't fade with time, it deepens. So if you've ever wondered how some women just seem to get more beautiful as they age, stay with me, because today, we're uncovering the 7 style principles that make Rossella Jardini a modern icon and how you can bring that same grace into your own wardrobe. This isn't about copying her. It's about learning her language and then speaking your own. 1. The foundation of timeless style. Rossella Jardini doesn't dress for the moment. She dresses for the life she's built. And that foundation begins with investment pieces, the kind that never scream but always speak. Think tailored blazers in structured wool, crisp white button-downs that fit like they were made for you, and trousers that skim your body without clinging. These aren't just clothes. They're anchors. They ground your wardrobe so that everything else can float around them effortlessly. Rossella understands that timeless style starts with quality over quantity. One beautifully cut coat will serve you better than 5 trendy ones. One pair of leather loafers that mold to your feet will outlast a dozen that pinch. This is where style becomes sustainable, not just for the planet, but for your peace of mind. You stop chasing, you start curating, and when you build your wardrobe on pieces that last, that fit, that feel like you, getting dressed becomes less about decision fatigue and more about quiet joy. That's the foundation. That's where elegance begins. 2. The power of a refined color palette. Rossella's wardrobe whispers in neutrals. Cream, camel, charcoal, navy, soft white, the occasional black. But here's what makes it brilliant. She doesn't avoid color out of fear. She chooses restraint because it amplifies everything else. A refined palette creates visual harmony. It makes getting dressed effortless because everything works together. You're not standing in front of your closet wondering if that top matches those pants. You already know it does. And when you do add color, a rust-toned scarf, a deep burgundy lip, a forest green handbag, it lands with intention. It becomes the exclamation point instead of the whole sentence. For women over 50, this approach is liberating. You're no longer performing youth through bright, chaotic prints. You're expressing sophistication through subtlety. Rossella proves that neutrals aren't boring. They're the canvas that lets your face, your confidence, let your presence take center stage. Start by identifying 3 to 5 core colors that make you feel like yourself. Build from there. Let those shades become your signature, your through line, the quiet consistency that makes your style unmistakably yours. 3. Fit is everything, and everything is fit. Here's the truth Rossella lives by. No amount of luxury fabric or designer labels will save a piece that doesn't fit. Fit is the difference between looking polished and looking like you borrowed someone else's life. And as our bodies change, and they do, understanding fit becomes even more essential. Rossella doesn't fight her body. She dresses it with respect. Her blazers are tailored to her shoulders, not swallowing them or straining against them. Her trousers sit at her natural waist, creating a long, elegant line. Her sleeves end exactly where they should, at the wrist bone, not bunching or hanging past her hands. This precision isn't vanity. It's self-respect. It says, I know my body and I honor it. If something doesn't fit off the rack, she alters it. A simple hem, a nipped waist, a lifted shoulder seam. These adjustments transform ordinary into extraordinary. You don't need a bespoke wardrobe to look like Rossella. You need a good tailor and the willingness to treat your clothes as worth the investment. Because fit isn't about perfection. It's about proportion. And when you get it right, everything else falls into place. 4. The quiet luxury of simplicity. Rossella Jardini doesn't need logos. She doesn't need embellishments or hardware or anything that announces itself before she enters the room. Her style speaks in whispers, and that's exactly why it's so powerful. Quiet luxury is about letting quality do the talking. It's cashmere that feels like air. It's leather so soft it moves with you. It's stitching so clean you almost don't notice it until you do. This philosophy is especially freeing for women over 50 because it removes the pressure to perform. You're no longer dressing to prove anything. You're dressing to feel like yourself, only elevated. Rossella's simplicity is never plain. It's considered. She might wear a monochrome outfit, but she'll add texture through a wool coat over a silk blouse. She'll layer a fine knit under a structured jacket. The simplicity creates space for you to be seen, not your clothes. And isn't that the point? When you walk into a room, people should remember your presence, your warmth, your confidence, not what you were wearing. Simplicity allows that. It strips away the noise and lets you shine. 5. Texture creates dimension without effort. If Rossella's color palette is restrained, her use of texture is where the magic happens. Because here's the secret. You can wear head-to-toe neutrals and still look incredibly dynamic if you play with texture. A chunky cable knit sweater over silk trousers, a wool coat layered with a cashmere scarf, leather gloves paired with a cotton shirt. These contrasts create visual interest without adding complexity. They give the eye something to travel across, something to appreciate. And texture has another superpower. It flatters. Matte fabrics like wool and cotton absorb light and create a slimming effect. Subtle shine, like silk or satin, draws light and adds dimension. When you combine the two, you're sculpting your silhouette without even trying. Rossella understands this instinctively. She doesn't overthink it. She just reaches for pieces that feel different when layered together. A smooth leather bag against a textured tweed jacket, a soft knit next to a crisp collar. It's intuitive, once you start noticing. And it transforms even the simplest outfit into something worth remembering. Texture is the secret ingredient. Use it generously. 6. Grooming completes the picture. Rossella's style doesn't stop at her hemline. It extends to her hair, her skin, her hands, the small details that tell the full story. Because elegance isn't just what you wear, it's how you wear yourself. Her hair is always polished, whether it's a sleek bob or soft waves. Not overdone, not trying too hard, just intentional. Her skin looks cared for, healthy, glowing in that way that comes from consistent routines, not filters. Her nails are clean, often bare or in a soft neutral. Her makeup, if she wears it, enhances rather than masks. A little definition around the eyes, a touch of color on the lips, nothing more than necessary. This level of grooming isn't about vanity. It's about completion. It's the frame around the painting. You can wear the most beautiful outfit, but if your hair is neglected or your skin looks tired, the whole picture falls flat. Grooming is self-care made visible. It's the final 5% that makes the other 95 shine. And it doesn't require hours, just consistency. A skincare routine you actually follow. A haircut that works with your texture. Small, steady habits that add up to effortless polish. 7. Confidence is the final accessory. Here's what Rossella Jardini knows that so many of us forget. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you practice. It's the way you hold your shoulders back, the way you meet someone's eyes, the way you walk into a room like you belong there because you do. And style, real style, is just confidence made visible. You can wear the perfect outfit, but if you're tugging at your sleeves or second-guessing your choices, it won't matter. Confidence is what makes everything else land. It's what turns a simple blazer into a statement, a neutral palette into a signature, fit into elegance. Rossella doesn't dress to impress. She dresses to express. And because she knows herself so well, because she's made peace with who she is at 72, everything she wears becomes an extension of that self-assurance. You can cultivate this too. Start by wearing what feels true, not what you think you should wear. Trust your instincts. Invest in pieces that make you feel powerful. And then, most importantly, wear them like you mean it. Because elegance isn't about perfection. It's about presence. And you already have everything you need.